had some problems getting the field to crisscross. Being that Scott McCann could not start on the pole, everybody had to crisscross to get to their respective positions. There you see the front row of Russ Leinbach Jr., Rick Barr, Carl Billett, Mark Billett in this heat race. Those guys put on a great show last week, running 1 and 2 most of the feature. Carl Billett, the eventual winner. Jeff Leapart had a top 2 finish last week. He's got a string of top 5 finishes dating back 6 or 7 weeks now. He's having quite a season here in the limited late model division. And the green flag is out. It's Russ Leinbach Jr. over Rick Barr, Wilmer Weiss, Ron Little up to 3rd spot, car number 11. Here comes Leapart on the outside. Leapart using every inch of the track. You can see him on the very outside trying to get around Ron Little. And here comes Leapart. Right behind him is Carl Billett. Carl Billett in the 6th, moving up to 4th spot. As I said earlier, Carl Billett looking to extend his heat winning streak. He's won 12 out of 12 heat races here in the limited late model division. Jeff Leapart challenging for 2nd. Leapart to the inside of Rick Barr. Leapart now up to 2nd. It looks like Leapart may put a stop to Carl Billett's domination here in the heat races. Carl Billett now jumps into 3rd spot right behind Leapart. Carl Billett now takes over the lead. Excuse me, Jeff Leapart now takes over the lead. Carl Billett moves into 2nd. We're just 4 laps into this heat race. We'll see if Leapart can hold off Billett. Billett at the bottom, Leapart at the top of the track. Nearly side by side as they get down the backstretch. This time around we'll be halfway. Carl Billett looking very strong. Jeff Leapart in the Fryco Warm 103 car holding off Carl Billett. Carl Billett, your current point leader in the limited late model division, taking it to the top of the track. Jeff Leapart able to hold him off though. Carl Billett all over Jeff Leapart, but Jeff Leapart continuing to hold off Billett. Billett in very hard, coming off corner number 4. They're side by side down the front stretch. Carl Billett moves down to the inside. He takes over the lead. Carl Billett definitely has the setup for the heat races dialed in as he's your race leader. It looks like he's going to pick up his 13th out of 13th heat race win. Carl Billett, Jeff Leapart, Mark Billett running way back in 3rd. Turning in a fine performance though. These 2 guys got out to a lead. White flag, 1 lap to go. Carl Billett unable to pull away from Jeff Leapart. This is the last lap coming off corner number 4. Carl Billett picks up the checkered flag. 2nd to Leapart. 3rd goes to Mark Billett. 4th is going to go to Russ Leinbach Jr. and 5th goes to Wilmer Weiss. Carl Billett, car number 6, makes it 13 out of 13 here in the heat races for the limited late model division. Coming up next, heat number 2. The car count tonight for the limited late models down quite a bit from last week. We nearly had 30 cars last week. This week we only have 20-some. Starting on the pole will be Mike Leonard. Starting 2nd will be Jerry Remsnyder. 3rd will be Glenn Adams. Starting 4th, Brian Shuey. 5th will be Todd Bayshore, followed by Scott Richwine in the 2M. And starting 7th and last is Smokey Fry in the 1W. I said we only have 7 cars, but this is a quality field. 6 out of 7 of these cars have won a heat race so far this season. Just about ready to take the green flag here. Heat number 2 for the limited late model division. Five to qualify, 10 laps the distance. Brian Shuey in the 22, side by side with Remsnyder. Smokey Fry, the 1W behind Brian Shuey, working his way up through the pack. There you see Smokey Fry, car number 1W. He's tucked in behind the 22 of Brian Shuey. Jerry Remsnyder running fourth, but the 1W of Smokey Fry able to go around him. We have a new race leader. Glenn Adams in the 12 has taken the lead away from Mike Leonard. Mike Leonard driving car number 7. Mike's a rookie in this division. Brian Shuey side by side with Leonard as they go down the backstretch and enter corner number 3. Brian Shuey slides underneath and takes away the runner-up spot. We have a 4-car battle for the lead now. Glenn Adams, Mike Leonard, Brian Shuey, and Smokey Fry. Smokey Fry in the 1W. All 4 of those cars nearly running bumper to bumper. You can see a tire mark on the door on car number 7. I don't know if that was there before this heat race began. Smokey Fry moves to the top of the track to try and go around Mike Leonard. Smokey Fry somehow misses Mike Leonard. Mike Leonard, car number 7, had a bad vibration in the rear as he entered corner number 1. Apparently mechanical problems that caused for him going around in a circle, but Smokey Fry able to avoid him and to move into 3rd position as the yellow flag is out here in heat number 2 for the limited late model division. Well, with 5 laps down, your race leader is Brian Shuey. He got around Glenn Adams that last lap. He's your new race leader. Glenn Adams running second, followed by Smokey Fry. Tough break for Mike Leonard, car number 7. He's the one that brought out the yellow flag. I believe he qualified for 3 straight features. He won a heat race several weeks ago. Smokey Fry alongside Glenn Adams, car number 12. Glenn Adams off the bottom of the track though, holding down that 2nd position. Glenn Adams, Smokey Fry, they continue to run 2 and 3. Scott Richwine driving the 2M tonight. I don't know if you were here last week at the track, but he made hard contact with the wall in corner number 3, and we have the yellow flag out for a piece of debris that's laying off corner number 4. So the yellow flag is out here in heat number 2. The debris is off the track. Brian Shuey is still your race leader. As I was talking about Scott Richwine earlier, the debris was from his car. He has taken the 2M into the pit area. But last week here in the feature event, he made hard contact with the 3rd turn wall, and it totally demolished his car, so he's driving the 2M tonight. Smokey Fry still trying to get around Glenn Adams for 2nd spot. Glenn Adams still running 2nd. Your race leader, though, Brian Shuey. With 1 lap to go, I don't think anybody's going to run him down. Smokey Fry continues to fight it out with Glenn Adams. Glenn Adams has been holding him off for 4 or 5 laps. This is the last lap, though. Here comes Shuey. Shuey's going to pick up the checker flag. The runner-up will be Smokey Fry. Glenn Adams gets 3rd, followed by Todd Bayshore. And Jerry Remsnyder coming in 4th. At the checker flag line, Mike Leonard making some contact with the inside retaining wall, running over the front end of his car. But Brian Shuey holds off the whole field to pick up his 3rd checker flag of the season here in the heat races. Qualifying heat for the limited late model division. Starting on the pole is Miles Bird, followed by Steve Gross, Mark Kropp, Gene Wrightstone, Chris Shuey, Charlie Cope, Jeff King, and Jimmy Shuttlesworth. 10 laps of distance, 5 to qualify. Very slow start here. Miles Bird picks up the pace. Steve Gross, car number 11G, he's a rookie in this division. He's already qualified for 2 features, I believe. Here comes Mark Kropp in the 77. He moves from 3rd to 1st in a half a lap. Behind him is Chris Shuey in the 21. And the 18 of Charlie Cope going up over the wheel of Miles Bird. Excuse me, that was the 10 of Gene Wrightstone. Gene Wrightstone, car number 10, up over the left front wheel of Miles Bird. Looks like Miles Bird is okay. Steve Gross also involved in that. 3 cars involved in it. Doesn't look like anything's too serious, though. The yellow flag's out here in heat number 3 for the limited late models. Well, that was a wild first lap here in heat number 3 for the limited late model division. 3 of the drivers unable to continue. They were taken into the pits on the hook. There's Jimmy Shuttlesworth in the 91, Miles Bird, car number 28, and Steve Gross in the 11G. Gene Wrightstone able to change a right rear tire and get back out there. But right now at the front of the pack, it's the 21 and the 77. Going at it for the lead. The 77 of Kropp holding off 21 of Chris Shuey. Here comes Charlie Cope in the 18, running 3rd. Jeff King running 4th, car number 117. 5 cars running out there, 5 to qualify. Well, it looks like Chris Shuey led that lap. Chris Shuey now takes over sole position of 1st place. Mark Kropp moves to the inside. He was running the outside. He'll try his luck at the bottom of the track. Chris Shuey. Maybe he'll be able to pick up where his brother left off and win heat number 3. Brian Shuey, the winner of heat number 2. Charlie Cope running 3rd. Jeff King running 4th. The car's a little spread out here in heat number 3. Normally the racing action is very tight. Jeff King moving in on Charlie Cope. And Gene Wrightstone lets one loose in car number 10. You can see the fire come out from underneath the bottom of the car. Fire out from underneath the hood. He shuts the car off. He's going to get out of there very quickly. The fire crew over there, the yellow flag is out. This race has been checkered. The checkered flag is out for heat number 3 for the limited late model division. Chris Shuey will be the official winner. Coming in 2nd will be the 77 of Mark Kropp. 3rd will be the 18 of Charlie Cope. 4th will be the 117 of Jeff King. And 5th, surprisingly, will be the 10 of Gene Wrightstone. You can still see the smoke coming out from underneath car number 10. We'll be right back with some Super Sportsman action after this. Well, we were supposed to come back with a limited late model consolation event, but only 4 cars made the call. And here's how they finished. Ron Little, Mike Leonard, Scott Richwine, and Steve Gross. They were the only 4 cars to come out, so they checker flagged it. Here's the lineup. We're back with the limited late model feature event. Here's how they'll start. On the pole to be Russ Leinbach Jr., followed by Jerry Remsnyder. Starting 3rd will be Mark Kropp in the 77. 4th in the 12 is Glenn Adams. Starting 5th in the K3 is Wilmer Weiss. Starting 6th, Brian Shuey in the 22. Starting 7th, Todd Bayshore in the 29, currently 10th in points. Starting 8th will be the 21 of Chris Shuey. 9th will be Charlie Cope in the 18. Starting 10th will be Mark Billett in the 27. Starting 11th, Jeff King. Starting 12th, Jeff Leifart in the 103. Starting 13th, Smokey Fry. Starting 14th, Carl Billett. Starting 15th, Ron Little. 16th, Mike Leonard. 17th, Scott Richwine. And starting last is Steve Gross. We're just about ready to go green flag racing here for the late model feature event, 20 laps the distance. It's Russ Leinbach Jr., Jerry Remsnyder, your front row. And we'll follow the late model field off corner number 3. Brian Shuey, Chris Shuey, both of the brothers looking for their first career feature wins here at Silver Spring Speedway. Brian Shuey up to 6th, Chris right behind him in a 21. Last week's feature winner was Carl Billett. And Bayshore gets sideways. Charlie Cope in front of him. Todd Bayshore threw it sideways to avoid the trouble in front of him. Looks like the 77 of Mark Kropp. The 18 of Charlie Cope. Charlie Cope into the 77 very hard. And it looks like the 21 of Chris Shuey also sitting against the backstretch wall. There's the 21 of Chris Shuey. 4 cars involved in this crash. 1 lap is down in a late model feature event. Well, with 1 lap down, your race leaders, Russ Leinbach Jr., Charlie Cope, The 77 of Mark Kropp, both unable to continue. It's Russ Leinbach Jr., your race leader, followed by Glenn Adams. Brian Shuey up to third spot. The 103 of Jeff Leapart up to fourth spot now. Right behind him is the 27 of Mark Billett, the 6 of Carl Billett. Over the last several weeks, these 3 cars have been the fastest ones. And the yellow flag is out once again for Chris Shuey in the 21 and the 3 of Wilmer Weiss down in corner number 4. Well, we've got a new race leader here in the limited late model feature event. Chris Shuey was taken into the pits on the hook that time. Wilmer Weiss able to rejoin the back of the pack. Your new race leader, though, is Glenn Adams in car number 12. Russ Leinbach Jr. drops back to second, followed by Brian Shuey, Jeff Leapart, Jerry Remsnyder, and Carl Billett. Carl Billett now taking over 5th. Mark Billett running 7th in car number 27. Russ Leinbach Jr. dropping back to 3rd as Brian Shuey goes by him. Brian Shuey looking for his first career feature win ever here at Silver Spring. Jeff Leapart up to 3rd spot. Carl Billett trying to take over 4th, currently running 5th. Right on his back bumper, though, is his brother, Mark. Mark Billett in the 27 on the bottom of the track. Carl Billett trying the outside. And the yellow flag is out once again. The yellow flag is out for the 91 of Jimmy Shuttlesworth. Jimmy Shuttlesworth bringing out the caution flag here in the late model feature event. Well, Glenn Adams is still your race leader here in the limited late model feature event. Jeff Leapart is on the move. He's up to 3rd. Brian Shuey running 2nd, followed by Russ Leinbach Jr. and Carl Billett in the 6th. Mark Billett trying to crack the top 5. He's running 6th in the 27. Jeff Leapart at the bottom of the track. Billett on the outside. Brian Shuey on the outside. Car number 22. Here comes Carl Billett trying to take over 3rd from Leapart. Carl Billett looking for his 5th feature win of the season. Leapart looking for his 1st win of the season. Jeff Leapart running the bottom of the track. Glenn Adams is out front leading this event, car number 12. Glenn Adams. Brian Shuey making a run for the lead, though. Brian Shuey, car number 22. One of the hard luck drivers here, and the caution flag is out for the 27 of Mark Billett as he went through the grass. The 27 of Mark Billett. The 27 of Mark Billett bringing out the caution flag here in a limited late model feature event. Brian Shuey, your new race leader, car number 22. 7 laps are down, 13 remain. It's Shuey, Glenn Adams, Jeff Leapart, Carl Billett running 4th. Glenn Adams running 2nd in the 12. He led the first 6 laps. Brian Shuey took over from there, though. Glenn Adams not giving up as he's coming hard on the bottom. Shuey likes that outside groove. Running right up against the cushion. Jeff Leapart deciding to make it a 3-car battle for the lead here. And right behind him is Carl Billett. You can never count him out. Jeff Leapart moves into 2nd. Carl Billett takes over 3rd from Glenn Adams. Jeff Leapart going for the lead. Brian Shuey in the 22 holding him off. Here comes Carl Billett on the outside. Jeff Leapart side by side, but Brian Shuey able to hold him off. Jeff Leapart, Carl Billett both go by. Brian Shuey side by side down the backstretch. What a race here in a limited late model feature event. Just like the heat race, it was Leapart and Billett fighting it out for first and second. Carl Billett slams the front stretch wall. Jeff Leapart able to continue to keep on going. Carl Billett, Jeff Leapart making some heavy contact. You saw it here on TV 40. Carl Billett looked like he may have been on his way to his 5th feature win, but you can see the damage to the front end of that car. Hopefully Carl is okay, but that's going to end his night here at Silver Spring Speedway as the caution flag is out with 11 laps down. But we'll have to see if Jeff Leapart can hold on for his first feature win of the season. Him and Carl Billett making contact down the front stretch. Carl Billett taken into the pits on the hook. He's your current point leader in the limited late model division. Jeff Leapart has some damage on the right rear side. We'll have to see if he can hold off Brian Shuey. Jeff King with some sheet metal damage also, running 5th. Smokey Fry into 1W, trying to take over 4 spot from King. Brian Shuey running 2nd. Adams running 3rd. That damage to the right rear of Jeff Leapart doesn't seem to be affecting him any, as he's pulled out to maybe a 8 or 10 car length advantage. And he's got 6 laps to go. Adams trying to regain 2nd from Brian Shuey. Brian Shuey drops back to 3rd. Here comes Smokey Fry, Jeff King. Both of them all over Brian Shuey. Smokey Fry now up to 4th position in the Colhane Steakhouse, number 1W. Brian Shuey running 2nd, 3rd in car number 22. Smokey Fry running 4th. Jeff King running 5th in car number 117. Shuey and Smokey Fry, they were side by side as they came off corner number 2. As for positions 3 and 4, Brian Shuey. I believe this is his best performance of the season as he holds off Smokey Fry. Smokey Fry, the defending track champion here in the limited late model division. He's running 4th. 3 laps to go. Glenn Adams with his best performance of the season running 2nd in car number 12. Your race leader with 2 laps to go is Jeff Leapart. Shuey, Smokey Fry continue to fight it out for 3rd and 4th. Smokey Fry unable to get around Brian Shuey, car number 22. Here comes Leapart off corner number 4 with 1 lap to go. Glenn Adams running 2nd. There's the battle for 3rd and 4th. There's our race leader, Jeff Leapart, in the warm 103. Looking for his first feature win of the season here at Silver Spring Speedway, and he'll get the checkered flag. The runner-up will be Glenn Adams, a fine job for Glenn. 3rd will go to Brian Shuey, 4th to Smokey Fry, 5th to Jeff King, 6th to Ron Little, 7th to Scott Richwine in the 2M, 8th goes to the 29 of Todd Bayshore, 9th goes to the 9 of Russ Leinbach Jr., and 10th goes to the K3 of Wilmer Weiss. Jeff Leapart in the 103 with a mid-race skirmish with Carl Billett able to run the remainder of the race with damage to the right rear of the car, and picks up his first feature win of the season here at Silver Spring Speedway in a limited late model division. Coming up next will be